Warning, the Spoilercast does contain spoilers of current and past movies, books, video, games, TV shows, and possibly your life. So if you're listening to a show called Spoilercast and you're pissed off that we gave away spoilers, we really don't care. Thanks again and have a wonderful day.
Hello and welcome to Spoilercast by All Tower Media. I am Roper, and I'm joined again by Jareth. Hi, Jareth.
Hi, I'm Jareth.
Hi, Jareth. And Josie, how are you?
Hello.
And Dire Monkey at the controls.
What up?
Hey, I love your Celine Dion shirt.
Greatest shirt ever, right?
It is a really good
It says
shirt.
Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On, and it looks demonic.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
it has the actual symbol of Satanism.
I mean,
Close. It's not quite.
yeah.
It's not quite?
No.
No, not quite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
no. Okay, it's the stereotypical
Yeah.
one for the thing, but
Yeah.
It's got
the
stuff.
symbols are not right.
It's got stuff, but then it has a heart, and I love the fact that
You
it says all
guys
that.
all spent like way too long staring at his boobs.
I mean,
I don't
you
think
have-
They're
you have-
hypnotizing,
listen, you
and
have-
it says Celine Dion on his boobs.
You have to understand something. Dire
They're
Monkey,
soft, supple, and very reactive.
Reactive.
he wears
Like chemically reactive?
Listen, he wears
Or-
some of the best shirts in here. I love his X-Men Guns N' Roses shirt. That's
Yeah.
probably my favorite.
Also, sometimes he wears our shirts.
I mean, yeah.
Those are the best times.
I also the one that we made a long time ago. Show us your crits.
Yeah.
That one's my favorite.
yeah, my shirt.
I get
Yeah.
a lot of comments on shirts.
That one's like the best. Anyhow, so tonight we were gonna do another kind of earlier on movie. I know last episode we did Planet of the Apes, but that was a few weeks before. We're gonna go back in a little bit further time
War
here, but
for the
not-
Planet of the Gapes.
Yeah, but this time it's actually
Yeah, that's the porn version.
yeah. This time we're actually going to talk about Baby Driver.
No, okay, never mind.
Baby Driver. Jareth is in love with this movie.
Oh, yeah, no, this movie is like 100% good.
So, okay, here's the deal. Josh accuses us on a very regular basis of hating movies. We don't hate movies.
yeah, no.
We
Josh
just-
hates movies.
Okay.
We don't like... Josh doesn't like the fact that we have opinions about movies and
Especially movies that he likes.
that he likes that are
Wait.
sometimes bad. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, I know there's a movie that he was like, it's so great, and I'm like, it is absolute garbage. What the
Batman
fuck?
v Superman.
Batman versus Superman.
That's the one.
exactly right.
He's like, come on, have you seen it? I'm like, yes.
It's
yes,
awful.
I did.
Yeah.
It is not good.
We've had that discussion with
As
him
a movie-
so much.
As a movie, it's not good.
Yep.
As a comic movie, it's not good. As a hero movie, it's not good.
Yep.
It's
As
just-
like a thing that exists, it's not good.
well, it commits the biggest sin for me, because it's a bigger sin to be boring
Yep.
than it is to be bad.
Yep.
The reasons why I like Dark Tower over Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell was boring as shit. At least the Dark Tower, I had fun with all of the Stephen King tropes.
Yeah. If
So-
a movie does nothing, then what the fuck?
So you walked into Baby Driver, and I remember at the end of the movie, I remember you walking out of it, and you turned and you looked at me, and you go, I don't know, I'd have to dwell on this for a little bit, but I think this is a 10. And
Yeah.
that's saying a lot coming from you, Jareth.
Yeah, I mean, I've got like a list of like 3 movies that are 10s.
And, okay, so tell me about Baby Driver.
Okay, so Baby Driver, imagine for a moment the best thing in the universe, and then have sex with like 12 unicorns at once, and then like also a dragon, and then they all conceive one love child.
Smothered in gravy.
Or what is realistically what happened.
You don't want to know what's in my head right now.
Yeah, I mean...
Or, well, those two are being weird. Or in realism, it's, what is that fucking song called?
I don't know.
Anyways.
My heart will go on.
No.
Celine Dion, my heart will go on.
Okay, so years and years and years before Edgar Wright, Nick Frost, or Simon Pegg were ever famous, they were part of the Garth Marenghi group, or were friends with them. And there's a music video that Edgar Wright directed. It played at Alamo House before.
Mint Royale.
Mint Royale
is the blue song.
Blue song, yeah.
Yep.
And it has Noel Fielding and
Yeah, because he's the guy doing the thing that
Yep.
Yeah.
Baby ends up doing in
Yes.
the movie.
and Joel Barrett and Nick Frost and third random guy I don't recognize.
I'm pretty sure Third Random Guy is actually his name. I think it's French.
No.
They go in and while the song's happening, you don't see the heist that's happening with those three.
Because you're focused on the wheelman.
Yeah, you're just watching because I love the Mighty Boosh and all that stuff. I know it's Noel Fielding,
Right.
And one of the people in the cars is the other half of the Mighty Boosh,
Right.
Yeah, Edgar Wright openly said that music video, he's been sitting on making an entire story around.
And that's precisely what this is.
And
Yes.
then he killed it.
And then,
Oh, yeah,
then
he
he just
fucking-
knocks it out of the park.
Well, it's also, I was reading, a while back, I was reading a thing with Edgar Wright. He was talking about how this movie is one of the few that, since the Cornetto trilogy, that he's had the least amount of studio feedback on. For once, they just left him the fuck alone.
Well, he's also executive producer, writer, director. I think he's also just regular producer on it.
Yeah, he's like, well, a lot of them, that's how, because you and me, Jareth, we were watching Preacher. The only way that show got made is because Seth Rogen is one of the people behind it. And he can get what he wants done, even if it's not good.
If the right people are putting the right money in the right hands.
Yep. So with this film, it's a musical.
Eh,
It is
It's-
kind of a musical.
It's a musical.
it's the way that Edgar Wright handles music, which is
Yes.
fucking brilliant. So it's not a musical, but it's music-centric.
Yeah, because nobody's breaking... Well, no. One time that somebody kind of breaks out into song.
But that's...
3 times somebody kind of breaks out into song.
Three? What?
Like, somebody sings a little bit, like 3 times.
Yeah.
That doesn't at all make a fucking musical.
True, but
It's-
okay. So you're right. It is very centered. It is very centered around its music. As a matter of
Yeah.
the opening thing, whenever you first get to follow him around as Baby is walking down the sidewalk, the music that's playing, certain words from the songs are actually like graffiti
Like Slide,
onto
for
things.
example.
They're like either graffitied onto things or
he performs the actual action that is being...
everything coincides with the music that is being played.
It's also worth mentioning that all of the music that you're hearing, with the exception of some small ambient sound, less so music, is always being played through his headphones.
So all the music you're actually hearing, so it's actually kind of cool. Baby will have headphones in, and at some point in time during the movie, he'll take one out, and the music will keep playing.
But it'll get softer.
It'll get softer.
They
and
do the
then-
audio change for it.
Or they'll remove both of them, and the music stops.
And
when
you
the
get like
headphone
just
goes
like
out.
some
Buzzing.
slight ambient additions to
Or
the background.
they do the thing where if you were actually listening to music and you take out one headphone and where you can only hear one side of the music, so you might not be able to hear the lyrics because you took that headphone out of your
Yeah.
ear, and that's what you hear is being played.
Yeah,
Yep.
if it's a straight split up track.
Yeah.
So, okay, we get a few things established by the intro scene. Baby is a wheelman.
Fucking God behind the wheel.
He's the wheelman for...
Also worth noting, this is the first movie ever that made me excited during driving scenes.
Right? Okay, so that was super cool. Like, you watch like Fast and Furious, things of that nature, I give a crap less about them. These, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. It was bananas.
I like the Fast and the Furious movies just for the sheer fact of going, how much more ridiculous can they get?
Yeah.
Like,
mean-
they're superheroes. They're
Now,
fucking superheroes
Next,
now.
they're going to be
Yeah.
in space.
Oh,
That's going
yeah.
to be the next thing.
They're
gonna be-
superheroes,
Well-
but their power is their cars.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
but family.
Actually, some other news on the Fast and Furious front. Vin Diesel is producing a live-action Fast and the Furious show that will be touring the nation sometime soon.
That sounds
he's trying
super
to get
dangerous.
that. He's trying to get that done. He also released a fucking album recently, so.
Bruce Willis did too.
But Bruce Willis can actually sing. Have you heard Vin Diesel?
Yeah, he's Groot.
I am Groot.
He
Anyway,
is
We
Groot,
talked
guys.
about this in Spellcast.
Yep.
The fact that these people crossing over to other mediums, 9 times out of 10 will not work.
normally. So,
But any publicity is good publicity.
I mean, kind of. So anyway, back to Baby Driver.
Yeah.
We are introduced to this amazing escape scene. You don't get to see the heist inside.
No.
You see him getting out of the car, going inside. He starts up some music, which Jareth loves that song, Bell Bottoms.
Bell bottoms. He yells it like 18 times. I love it.
He loves that song. I saw you being like gleeful while that was all happening.
Also, I'm just like super stoked about how stoked he is about all the music.
So then,
Like every song, he's like, "Fuck yeah, this one, yes!"
but then they get back into the car and he goes into full bore escape mode. And by God, you're right. He is a god behind the wheel.
Haul in ass.
And he changes songs for the appropriate kind of driving he's doing.
And he also times all of his shit.
Yep.
So the sound effects also...
For me, that kind of came in a little weird later on whenever he was like, okay, hold on. And he actually has to back up the song.
Yeah, he wanted to start the song so that it...
I was all on board with all of it. That part seemed like a little off to me.
Nah.
It did. For me, it did. Because it was almost like a timing thing, but he hadn't been neurotic about it before until then.
Nobody had messed with it before.
Yeah,
All
nobody...
right. But I guess if we'd have seen it, something else would have occurred that made that a little bit...
But then it would have been a useless scene that I probably would have been going, we didn't need this. We just needed to see it once.
Maybe. So anyhow, we continue on. They end up getting away, and then we're introduced to his boss.
Kevin Spacey?
Kevin Spacey's his boss.
Doc.
Well, by the way, I believe the original heist involves John Hamm.
Yep.
I wish I knew that.
No.
It's John Barenthal.
Yes.
John
no, John Hamm and John Bernthal are there.
Yeah, in the first one with what's her face?
Yes, because it is her. It is.
I don't know the actress's name.
Darlin and
did.
Buddy.
I wish I did, because she was fucking awesome in this movie.
Yeah.
Whoever she is, she needs like way more music.
Eiza Gonzalez. Eiza Gonzalez.
Well, whatever it is, she was a great actress, and she needs more work, because she was awesome.
It's also worth mentioning to anybody going and seeing this, John Bernthal kind of plays
she's in From Dusk Till Dawn.
The new one?
The series.
Yeah, okay. The new one.
And she's in Jim and the Holograms, this Jetta.
I didn't see that. I just knew it wasn't good.
So John Bernthal plays a prominent role in the trailer. He does not play a prominent role in the film.
No, he's like in and out. Like all of his scenes that are in the trailer are his scenes in the movie.
100% that was the studio. 100% that was the studio, because he had just literally like everyone we've been waiting to hear news about the Punisher. Which, if you wait till the end of the last episode of Defenders, there is a trailer for
the Punisher.
The Punisher. That's his porn name.
Yeah, he went from the guy who played Sean and nobody liked Sean to holy fuck, John Barenthal's the man. So I'm sure the studio's the one that put him in all of the fucking commercials.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
he does play an important role setting up the.
It's foreshadowing.
The plot, yeah.
It's foreshadowing. We get out of all of that, so you kind of get this dynamic where you realize that he's the wheelman. He owes something to Kevin Spacey's character Doc, and then they kind of give this setup where.
By the way, Kevin Spacey is playing Kevin Spacey.
Yep. He does a great job at it.
Oh, he's so good at acting at this point that. It's just and Kevin Spacey's awesome.
Yeah,
but what happens is you start to get a feel for what all's happening here, and what's happening is that Baby owes Doc
a large sum of money,
a question mark amount of money.
He is nearing the end of his payments.
Correct, and what you start to realize is he never does the same job with the same crew,
the exact same crew
over again, and so. That first group that we get, it's not going to be them anymore. So the next group that we get introduced to
Bats,
Jamie Foxx,
Kevin,
Jamie Foxx,
or whatever his name is.
I don't remember.
The fucking Asian guy. He puts the Asian in Home Invasion.
Yeah, I love the hats guy.
Yeah,
because he Baby looks at him. He says, "Your tattoo says hats," and he's like, "He used to say hate." I got the E covered up, and he's like. Okay.
He said it was hard to get jobs.
Hard to get a job with hats.
Who doesn't like hats?
Who doesn't like hats? How's that working out for you? Who doesn't like hats?
That guy's he is a treasure. He is a dumb treasure.
But then he's a disposable character.
He's also responsible for the gag in the trailer, the fucking Mike Myers masks.
Yes, which that is hilarious. Like I didn't expect
This is a
that to be
Halloween mask.
I did not expect that to be so funny. He told us to get Halloween masks. This is a Halloween mask. He told us to get Mike Myers. This is Mike Myers. It's Austin Powers.
So fucking funny.
Like everything about that, every answer that Bats tries to give him, it was just like, and you could tell Bats was getting more angered the more he was saying
things. That's mostly like just par for the course for his character, though.
Okay, so Jamie Foxx's character is volatile, to say the very least.
I would say that he has
Oh,
a
yeah.
short fuse, except for that it's just always blowing up.
Yeah. Like, he's like, hey, pull into this gas station. I want to get some gum. And then he comes out, and he has, like, boxes of gum.
And since you no longer see the cashier, we can assume that he probably shot him.
And then he's like, let's go.
Yeah.
But the thing is that, okay, so what I really, really enjoy about all of the dynamic that they had with these guys was Bats created a problem, a situation that kind of kept Baby stuck in the position that he was in.
Even though he wanted out.
Wanted out. Because he was trying to protect his loved one at home, his adopted or his foster dad.
Yeah.
He was also trying to protect
The girl he meets at the
girl
diner.
that he meets at the diner. What's her name again?
God damn it. Deborah.
Deborah.
Yep, reminds me of a zebra.
Yep. Thank you.
Zebra.
That part, does that kind of singing where he's like,
A little bit.
Reminds me of a...
That was number one.
Okay.
The second time is whenever he goes and listens to the song and sings it at his foster dad. And then the third time is John Hamm goes along with the lyrics to...
Queen.
Yep, I can't remember the name of the song offhand.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
I can't remember which song it was off the top of my head.
okay, so did any one of you see Bats as being the primary bad guy?
Yes.
I mean, they set him up super hard for it. And he seems like kind of like...
He's going to be.
Because basically everything he does works the fuck out for him.
Well, they kind of set it up to where it's all of them. Everybody that isn't... Kevin Spacey seems like he's a rational bad guy. Like, I'm not going to do something that's going to put me in danger just to be pissy.
He definitely threatens Baby several times where he's like, I'd hate for your girlfriend's pretty, let's keep her that way.
But it's clear
It's
now...
methodical, right?
Well, after the fact, it's clear that those were, at least to some extent, empty threats.
Right.
Yeah, he wasn't going to do anything that was going to be big enough for Baby to actually rebel against him
But the actual
get him
problem,
caught.
the only real threat that Baby sees out of any of them is Bats.
Because Bats is just, he will kill somebody.
Just because.
Well,
he thought Deborah was
he
being
wanted
disrespectful. He thought Deborah was being disrespectful to Baby and was going to go shoot her, and Baby stops him.
Actually, we don't know that that's why he was going to shoot her. It might just...
That's how he pays the check.
Yeah, that's how he pays the check.
Yeah.
He wanted gum, and he probably killed a guy.
Well,
Right.
yeah, but they also set up... John Hamm, I am very happy he got to do this movie because he's been...
Killed it.
Well, because
Yep.
he's been pigeonholed since Mad Men into playing Draper in every role. That's why him on 30 Rock was so hilarious, because he wasn't John Draper.
Right.
This, even in that first scene, you look at him and you go, there's something seriously wrong, and she's the only reason it's not being released.
Right.
But they do also set him up as a very sympathetic character.
So, okay, and that's what I wanted to get to. So, I never, ever actually looked at him as being volatile. As a matter of fact, I felt that he was more fatherly towards Baby.
Yeah, because they
early
actively
on.
go out of their way to make him the only character in
Who
that...
seems to be caring about him.
Yeah, he takes interest in him,
listen,
defends him.
The next time Doc calls, don't answer. He's looking out for him. He's like, hey, you don't belong in this. You need to get out.
Oh, yeah, but same with the girlfriend. Both of them behave that way towards Baby.
Yeah.
Because both of them, they're highly entertained by this kid who can fucking drive the way he does.
Right.
But that's why I was saying, with John Hamm's character, she's clearly fine. She's just along for the ride.
She's also quite volatile as well, though.
She's volatile, but more in a, like...
I'm enjoying everyone else being volatile, and I'm going to egg it on, but I'm probably not going to do it myself.
She's not the kind of person that would kill somebody just to get gum like Bats would.
But she also creates a great level of foreshadowing in the diner scene.
Oh, yeah.
About John Hamm's character.
Oh,
where he's sitting there and she starts telling Bats, he's like, look, you don't know determination. You don't know the extent he'll go to. He is a machine.
He becomes a basically unstoppable killing machine.
And then he straight up becomes an unstoppable killing machine.
She was the only thing... I think John Hamm did a fantastic... From the second you see him portraying that she's the only reason I'm not the Terminator.
Yep.
She is 100% the only reason all of you aren't dead.
Okay,
also,
so I
because
kind
they
of
killed Skynet.
Yeah,
But what
wow.
else?
Okay, so listen, here's the thing. I don't know about you two, but his character, I would love to know like what got him to this moment.
I would love to see what got those two together.
I
think
would love
there's
that
a
story.
really solid chance that Bats just knocked it out of the park.
You think?
I think so. The way that they respond to it says that like it was eerily close to the mark.
Well, yeah,
Because they're not just like, oh,
they
no.
don't refute it. No, but I think that there's a really cool story there, and I would love to see it. Right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure Bats is probably right. He probably was just some run-of-the-mill, Wall Street guy that was bebopping along, had a great life, and everything's going fine for him until some stuff happened that slid against him, and then he acted out and rebelled against. But there's a story there, and I think it would be wonderful to see.
Plus,
especially if she has actual grounds to go, Buddy is this level of determined.
I mean,
I've seen him like this. This is how he is.
she
He's
brings up two
obviously
different guys that he's killed
straight up for looking at
little,
her,
yeah.
looking at her wrong. Hey, you remember that guy that looked at me? And he's like, yeah.
Which, the first guy or the second guy?
Yup.
Yeah.
So there's a really cool story there, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know about you two, but for me, I was blindsided by him being the primary bad guy.
I think you're supposed to be.
But this is legitimately one of the first movies that's done that to me in a long time.
Well, it's because Edgar Wright hands you Barenthal, Ham, his girlfriend, and Jamie Foxx, and Kevin Spacey, and goes, figure out which one of them's the main bad guy.
Yep.
And they what's more, there's also another shift. So like all of a sudden the madman is taken out of the equation. So John Hamm
That's putting
shifts
it quite lightly.
everybody shifts one place over. John Hamm becomes the new volatile, dangerous madman. Darlin dies.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Well,
And then
You don't have to say that.
and then Kevin Spacey suddenly becomes the father figure.
Right. Well, okay, and we've talked about this. That is literally the entire, during the entirety of the movie, that is the only moment that I felt that, and you're right, Jareth, I picked it up and kept on with it. I didn't have a problem with it, but it's the only character motivation that just seemed kind of out of left field. Where Kevin Spacey's character, totally made sense that he's like, no, you can't have your recordings back. This is towards the end of the movie. He decides he needs to go back, and he's trying to get these mixtapes that he made of recordings of people's voices.
Specifically one that was made by his mom.
He wanted the one for his mother. He wanted that one specifically, and it makes sense that Kevin Spacey is like, nope, I'm closing up shop. You brought way too much heat on me. All the cops, all the good cops are after us. All the bad cops that were on my side, they're all after us.
Everything's Bat's fault. But.
Everybody, well, he kind of. We'll talk about that in a minute. But he's like, everything's burned. We're all done. I'm done. Going to ground. And he's like, no, you can't have your tapes back because they're basically corrupting. He could use these against him, and he doesn't want them to have them. So that motivation of him saying no made sense. But then whenever the girlfriend shows up, he was like, damn it. And then he's like, fine, take your tape. And then he's like, here's some money. This will get you out of here. That whole
it's
motivation.
enough to get you to Mexico.
Like, that whole thing, for me, just didn't seem like that was going to be his character. Like, that the influence to get him to that point didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But I let it go. He's been with the kid for years. He's talked about it. He's like, hey, yeah, I saw him whenever he's a little kid. He's riding, joyriding cars. He's ripping off cars.
Stole my car.
He stole my car with a bunch of goods in the back of it. He didn't know what he had, but wasn't a big deal. And he goes, I took him under my wing. Like, he's been around, so it made sense to a degree. It just, for the moment in that scene, as we'd been portrayed, there wasn't, and you and I had that discussion, Jareth, where there just wasn't enough depth of dynamic between Baby's character and Doc to establish it. And you're right. Like I said, I love it too. I don't have this isn't me going.
He gives him that stuff, and he's like, "I was in love once too."
Right.
And he has a fucking shotgun, and he gets shot like right the fuck away.
Yep.
And just like he starts wrecking shit until fucking Buddy shows up. and murders him with a cop car.
Yup.
Like, hard.
Runs him over twice.
Yep.
So we had
You gotta make sure he's dead.
we had a discussion on Sif Pop, and I want to run this past you, Josie, and Jareth, feel free to add in as well. But on Sif Pop, when we were discussing this a while back, we noticed
Sith or synth?
Sif.
SIFT.
Sift Pop.
Sift pop.
Yep.
Yes.
That's what it is. Anyhow, so
Our good friend Aaron Dicer.
Yep. Doing movie reviews over there on his channel. Great guy. Anyway, we were having a discussion on there with him, and he pointed out that this movie has no female lead characters that are driving forces within the movie. Rather, they are things to springboard the other characters to take action towards things. Both Darlin and Deborah are both characters that are used to propel the male characters within the story to do a thing. It's a catalyst of sorts, but
For Deborah, yes. For Darling, there's not enough of her in the movie to make that genuinely a thing, because she's clearly competent by herself.
right.
So if the movie wasn't focused on Baby, there's a potential that if it was like that movie you want to see with Buddy and Darlin, she would be one half. She would be the other lead.
Well, I think that what he might mean by that is that basically she in and of herself doesn't propel the plot. However, something related to her happens, and it changes John Hamm's character.
Correct.
And it changes the plot through him. Because she gets shot, and he goes fucking ballistic.
Right. So my question, I guess, is that, do you feel like that is the case? And could they have spun it differently? What happened, do you think that we would have seen the same type of result had John Hamm's character be killed? Would Darlin be like this?
Fuck yes.
You think so?
Absolutely. I 100% believe that if somebody had killed Buddy, Darlin would have gone full batshit insane.
Well, I mean,
and
okay.
she would have done her damnedest to kill as many motherfuckers in the exact same way Buddy did.
The scene where she actually ends up getting shot and killed, where she spins around on like a whole fleet of cops with 2 machine guns, and she's just like,
I like that metric, a fleet of cops, like they're boats.
yeah.
Because I imagine just like a shitload of cops in boats, but in a parking lot. They're like, we brought our boats.
Boats with wheels.
Yeah. We had extra money in our budget. We had to spend it.
Somewhere.
So
Somehow.
we got boats.
So we have boats now, because there's boats.
We're
We're a landlocked city, but we've got boats.
See, I think it would have been
Boats and hose?
Yeah.
It would have been a bigger problem if Darling herself had been completely fucking useless without Buddy.
Right.
But with her, like, she's not afraid of bats at fucking all. She has no fucking fear. All of this is hilarious to her. Like, she whips around with 2 machine guns like she's the evil Lana Kane and tries taking out as many motherfuckers as she can.
I actually had that exact same thought. I was like, oh my God, that's exactly like what Lana would do, except she'd be doing it from a cop car or from a vehicle, shooting at them uncontrollably.
But
those were warning shots, baby.
yeah, because the diner girl is intentionally useless because she's never been part of this world. So there's no way she could be useful.
Except for that she totally ends up fucking saving the day, effectively.
Yeah, but that's more of the shit character randomly rolls a crit moment.
Well, it's also another one of the subversions, because several times throughout the film, this is especially true in older films, but any time that there's like 2 men fighting, the woman just proceeds to do that.
Yeah.
But Edgar Wright several other times in this movie is like, if they're not on camera, that doesn't mean they're not still part of the fight.
Right.
Yeah. Edgar Wright's very good about.
And so she's not on the camera for a second, but she's not like just waiting around for anybody to get dead.
So Edgar Wright's amazing when it comes to directing, and amazing whenever it comes to angles. And one of those angles,
and detail.
One of those
detail.
One of those angles that I want to talk about for just a brief moment here is in the diner when Buddy has lost his marbles, and he makes Baby sit down next to him, and he's got Deborah in front of him. The news is talking about Darling getting killed, and they're looking for the counterpart, and they're discussing.
And he has a gun.
And he's got a gun.
And he's here to kill them.
And
It's
he's
just
here to kill them.
Sitting patiently on the counter.
And the cops show up, and one of them's using the bathroom, right? You all remember this scene. Mm-hmm. We are zoomed in and focused on Buddy's character. Off screen is Baby, who straight up shoots him off screen.
The screen shifts so that you're seeing Buddy because he turns his
Exclusively.
attention to the door because he thinks it's the cop coming back from back in the back, but it's the other waitress.
Yes. So he turns his focus shifts away to where it's all about those angles. It's all about for the individual person's perspective. You're listening to Baby's music. As the music pops out of his ears, you're no longer hearing that. Your perspective is shifting with Buddy to the doorway. So you're not looking at where you're tracking him.
So
And
whenever
then
the perspective shifts back and Baby has the gun and fucking just shoots his ass.
It's a surprise.
'Cause-
Like, I was straight up surprised. I was
'cause
like,
it was
holy
a-
shit!
Because it was a surprise to him.
Yup.
And it's another one of those, just because it's off screen doesn't mean it stopped existing.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, that's also one of my favorite things is you don't have a Baby didn't get the gun and then monologue at Buddy.
No,
he just
fucking
got the
shot
gun
him.
and shot him.
Yup.
He didn't monologue. Oh, you caught me in a monologue.
Like, what would he even say, though? I mean, they spend the whole time being like, Baby doesn't talk much.
Yeah. So, okay, but that's the thing. It's just...
Well, a bad movie, he wouldn't talk throughout the entire movie,
And
and
then
he'd get the gun and fucking monologue for 10 minutes at Buddy.
He is villain syndrome all of a sudden.
I do like their escape whenever they manage to get those two stoners that are in the car. Get out of the car.
You
You
ever
ever shot one of those before? I literally did 5 minutes ago. Everything.
And they're like, oh, okay.
all right. Can I get my phone back? No.
It's just like, they were like, oh, okay.
All right,
Because she's sincere enough that they're like, oh, God.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Like their hands slowly go up. They're like, all right, I give. You love everything about it. The whole movie is delightful. Everybody plays their characters wonderfully. I remember whenever I was going to OTC here in town, I was taking classes over there. I was learning sign language, and I remember the instructor over there telling us that in the deaf community that there are people that enjoy watching movies, but they don't like romances and stuff like that. There's not enough action for them on screen because it's apparently action films are more their speed.
Well,
That's
you
just
can
the way,
always
I'm not-
totally
I'm not-
understand what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so apparently an action movie is more driven for them than what like a romance or some type of slow
it's all
comedy.
visual, yeah.
Right?
Same with
and
dramas.
so
we wouldn't be big into those.
and I'm probably explaining this horribly, but that's the way the instructor kind of explained it to us. I'm paraphrasing quite a bit, but with this, Baby is living with his foster dad, who is deaf.
Who's full deaf. Well, and Baby has severe tinnitus.
Tinnitus,
yeah.
Yeah, he has a severe form of tinnitus, and that's why he's constantly listening to music to drown out the ongoing humming in his head.
As a result of the fatal car crash that killed his mother and father.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that accident over at the Alamo. Whenever we watched
it's
that,
the same basic accident as one of the Edgar Wright's
favorite crashes. Because at the Alamo, they were showing his favorite crashes and his favorite chase scenes and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is this car goes straight up underneath the back end of a tractor trailer and
it
just
takes
shears
the
the top of the car
Yeah.
off. And that's
I can't remember the film offhand.
neither can I. I remember that it's the guy from Jaws. That's the guy that's driving.
Which of the guys from Jaws?
Are you talking about the sheriff?
Yes.
Roy Schneider?
I don't remember. I got to look it up. Anyhow, so I will leave that to the capable hands of Dire Monkey. But that's effectively how. Yes, it is Roy Schneider. Yes.
Okie dokie.
Yes, that guy. Anyway,
the 7-Ups, is that the movie?
I think it was. It would be older film. But anyhow, this is effectively how Baby's mom and dad bit it.
Oh yeah, that's how they died. He lived.
You know, we got kind of like this glimpse into his past here and there, as far as like how they were. You know, as far as their dynamic was, Dad seemed to be an a-hole. Mom seems to be, you know, in Baby's eyes, an angel.
Yeah.
Definitely got the voice of one, all that good business. Anyway, they die. Baby's been on his own since then. It's really cool that over here at this theater they showed us a lot of these car chases and wrecks and
give
things
us
that
that
were
moment with,
influencing all of these things.
Yeah.
Because then there came moments within the movie where you're like,
I see where
I see where you got that from. Yeah.
Well, again, they showed the Mint Royal song before
Yep.
we went and saw it.
It was kind of like a peek behind the curtain, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
With Edgar Wright.
Did you find it? Yeah. All right. Is it this movie that we were talking about, the 7-Ups?
Yes.
Yes, 1973, The 7-Ups.
It's also the way Jane Mansfield was killed.
Oh,
Yep. So,
Inception.
the more you know.
the more you know. And now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
You know, besides like the other 100% that is not exactly any of that.
I mean, you know. So,
There's 150% to every battle, just so that everybody's prepared beforehand.
so there's 100% that's not knowing, and then the other half's the knowing. Anyhow, so Jareth,
Yes.
any other thoughts, details, things of that nature that you've just thoroughly appreciated about this movie?
Shit,
Like,
just
what-
basically the whole fucking thing.
What shined this up so much for a 10 for you? I know you've seen this. How many times have you seen this movie?
Twice now?
Yeah.
In the theaters?
Yeah.
Just once with you, once with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know you walked out immediately thinking it was a 10. And I know you walked out and was like, I'm going to have to dwell on this for a little bit. And even like the next day or two later, you still thought it was great. And then you went and saw it again with Miss Josie over here. Still thought it was a 10 at that point in time.
Yep.
Is this movie of the year for you?
So far, yeah.
think so?
I think that what stands out most for it isn't necessarily any single advantage it has. It's how few disadvantages it has.
For me, it's how balanced it is. Because, again, you have John Hamm, John Barenthal, and Jamie Foxx, and Kevin Spacey. All of those are huge, big-name actors who, if I remember correctly, some of them took pay cuts to be in this just because they wanted to be in an Edgar Wright movie, which is awesome. Like Ansel Elgort, even though I just horrifically butchered his last name, he was good in it, but the only things we've gotten to see him in is the Divergent series, which piddled out into nothingness, and The Fault in Our Stars, where I love The Fault in Our Stars, the book and the movie. That's about all we've really gotten to see him in. So it's beautifully balanced to where he doesn't get buried under all of these huge fucking names.
Right.
He still does a really good job. It has to be Edgar Wright's direction. Because that would be fucking frightening if I was an actor. Oh yeah, you're going to be the main character in this movie. And John Barenthal's going to be in it for like 5 minutes. Cool. And Kevin Spacey's going to be in it. Oh, okay. Along with Jamie Foxx and John Hamm. 2 out of those 4 people are Academy Award winning actors.
Yeah.
Like, Ansel does an amazing job having to hold his own against them. And Edgar Wright balances everybody correctly to where even though Bats is like a fucking psychopath and played brilliant by Jamie Foxx, he doesn't overshadow John Hamm or anyone else.
Yeah.
So I guess this is more in regards to the universe itself, and I always like to ask questions like this on occasion.
Like our universe or this
Kind of
movie's universe?
This movie's universe.
Okay.
How plausible do you feel this movie is to reality?
I mean, mostly.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, there are movies that like borrow things, but then they kind of go outside of it.
I mean, for the most part, the car stuff doesn't seem outside of reason. It seems like insanely difficult, but I think it checks out. And unlike a lot of other heist movies, the cops are neither too perfect nor too awful.
Yeah, you don't have stupid cop syndrome. Like, if a cop... Clearly, when a cop isn't catching Baby or any of the other people, it's because they're clearly on the take. Like, they're clearly on...
we have that whole moment in the movie where you're actually dealing with corrupt cops.
Yeah.
Well, you've also got... so, like, if the cops are failing in the chase, it's not because they're doing bad.
It's because Baby's doing better.
Yeah. It's not dumb cop syndrome that you get in a lot of action movies where... They're
as close to that you get. As the closest you get painted of dumb cop syndrome is the cop that comes in the diner that darts into the bathroom, but he has no reason to suspect any of the people that are sitting there at the diner are even remotely involved.
Yeah,
and
he's
once
gotta pee.
once he hears the gunshots,
he comes out.
and he's
starts
drawn
doing his
down.
duty.
He's drawn down. He's got his gun in hand, and he's like, "Sir, where are you shot? Can you show me where you're shot?" And he just immediately rolls over and shoots the cop.
Yeah,
and so that happens.
Yeah, that's another thing. Because you pointed out, because you've been a cop.
Right.
I hate that in movies where cops immediately are pointing the gun directly at somebody, because that doesn't happen in real life. They point down because you're not supposed to be shooting people.
Unless if he would have wrapped that corner and would have been confronted by somebody holding a gun, then yes, that gun is being pointed at somebody. But he has it a low ready. He's looking around. He's like, "Sir, you hurt? Where are you shot? Can you show me where you're shot?" And he immediately rolls over and he's like, "Right here, boom, boom."
Yeah, he is actually, again, it's not dumb cop syndrome. That is how a cop would react in that situation.
I was totally sold on all of the actions of most of the law enforcement. Now, there was the Good Samaritan that is in the Mike Myers chase scene.
The fucking military guy?
Yes. Now, that's different. Now, here's the thing, and I've had more time to think about this. So we had this discussion after Sif Pop, and I really love this idea. And let me know what you guys think about it. So Aaron over there thought that perhaps that guy was there as means of inhibiting the chase or inhibiting the robbery in order to get Baby back in trouble to put him back under Doc's thumb again.
I mean, it's possible.
Because here's the thing. Yes, he was lauded as a good Samaritan, okay? And I could buy it that he has a gun in his car, a pistol, right? But then there comes the moment where he pulls out a machine gun.
Yeah, no, he's definitely much better equipped than most
regular people are going to be.
But
it's the machine gun that sells that angle for me.
See, the issue that I have with that is the same thing like that episode where Lana Kane fires those warning shots with a fucking Tech 9 in a moving car.
Right.
You don't
accurately.
You don't do that if you 100% want everybody in that car to survive.
True.
Those firing from a moving car with a stable fire weapon is already not great for accuracy.
Right. Now so they ended up having the dude on the news in the next scene, and I didn't notice that until the second time I watched it. But they actually have him on the news in the next scene. He's in in a hospital bed because he wrecks out his truck. Wrecks out his truck. And they've actually got him on there talking about...
Which is a damn sight better than what he was going to get.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a fucking shotgun slug to the chest.
Thanks to Baby, he ends up saving his life straight up because Bats was just going to smoke him.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, that creates more turbulence for them later on.
Did
you make me miss that shot? You're a terrible liar.
You're a good driver, but you're a terrible liar.
Yep. There are so many quotable moments in that movie.
I know, it's so good.
Not as good as the quote that just popped in my head from Preacher.
Oh, god damn it. It's like Lady and the Tramp, but with
our butts.
Wait, what?
He pulls they're robbing a bank, and there's these safety deposit boxes, and he goes, "Oh God, no!" And so Tulip, the chick he's with, turns around. She's like, "What?" And he pulls out what is a giant dildo with two fists on the end.
It's they're this far apart. It is a good
3 feet.
2-3 feet.
It's 3 feet of just fists.
And it's fists on both ends.
And so he's just like looking at her, and he's like, "What do you think?" And she's like, "No." And he's like, "Don't, no, trust me, it'll be like Lady and the Tramp, but with our butts." And I challenge the world to provide me with a better line than that ever.
I mean,
poetry, sir.
I mean,
poetry.
It reminds me of Buddy looking at Darlin, telling her about the finest whining and dining of all the whinings and dinings.
Not even the bard can beat this. I literally might have almost died.
He was laughing so hard, I think I paused it just so you could finish laughing.
I think my heart stopped for a minute.
Oh, God.
So real quick, my theory on the Good Samaritan is that his intention was to rob them.
Oh, you think the Good Samaritan was there to rob them?
Like he was going to rob the
bank?
The bank.
You think?
Or the truck. And then they do it first.
Ooh. Now, I like that.
Because that explains, A, why he was already just sitting there.
Right.
And
why he's so
armed to
heavily
the teeth.
armed. Yeah.
But if it's also his first time bank robbing, that might be why he wasn't, like, immediately on the get-go.
Okay. I like that angle, too. See, this scene has created like 6 theories about it that I've heard from friends of mine, and I love that.
The
one.
other
That's a really
option
good one.
is that he was like hired as somebody to watch the thing.
And that was my thoughts on the matter is that he is not necessarily security, but he's like undercover security specifically for the bank for these type of drops.
Since there's been a
based
shitload
off,
of
there's
robberies.
been a fuck ton of robberies. Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, that one makes sense, because the only other thought I could have is those... Because there have been problems of people doing this where they just sit in their trucks and they pretend like they're police, and they have way too many fucking guns and ammo, and they always get their asses in trouble with the real police.
Yeah.
Because they're quote-unquote helping.
Impersonating law enforcement.
Well, yeah, they don't put on the uniform.
At what point in time... So we actually had an issue with that whenever I was working over at County. There was a person that was actually doing that. Apparently they were stopping people and all sorts of stuff, and we had some kids that did it one night. They had actually taken a ballistic vest and a bunch of fatigues and things of that nature, and they'd printed up fake IDs that they'd worked for some agency, and they had a clipboard and they had holsters and they had like all of the stuff, right? And they were going down to this lake that's nearby us here, and they were going up and IDing people and writing down their information and stuff. And, of course, people thought it was weird, and we got called out there, and we were dealing with them. And while I'm sitting here talking, I'm like, why are you doing this? And they're like, oh, just for fun. That's basically all it is. And, of course,
sounds like identity theft.
Well,
It also sounds like a really boring way to have fun.
Well, here's the thing. I recognize the area that they're at and some of the people that go down there. And then I talked over with several of the other guys that I was working with. I'm like, yeah, just picture them actually rolling up on fill-in-the-blank bad guy that we deal with on a regular basis. And them being like, hey, I need to see your IDs and stuff. And him going, I don't have time to waste for this, but you might actually be something. So he kills them, throws them in the lake, and then they move on. Or what happens when these guys graduate to the level of being able to purchase a car that actually looks the way it's supposed to and get their hands on all the stuff that they're supposed to? At what point in time are they, stopping a vehicle and dealing with a young lady and being like, hey, you're going to be in handcuffs and you're going to sit in the back seat of my car? And at what point in time does that become, you can get out of these handcuffs? And
Yeah,
starts getting real rapey real fast.
Yeah.
Right? So those moments,
Or they try to go punish her and start getting other
and then they
people
become
killed.
vigilanteism and things like that. So it's all
or the people who think that affirmative action has stopped people from getting the real criminals, because that's the one that I witnessed in Texas, is somebody getting fucking arrested because they were
you weren't going to do anything about it.
Yeah, they were a white dude with like 7 guns in their car rolling around primarily Hispanic neighborhoods.
What's the Bruce Willis movie getting ready to come out?
Oh, do you mean Death Wish, the remake?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I saw the commercial for it.
Yeah,
no.
That's getting ready to be a thing.
He stopped acting. He stopped trying.
Yep. Death Wish. Yep. 2017 Death Wish. That's going to be a thing.
Ooh, have you seen the commercial for the Jackie Chan one, though?
Yes.
That looks awesome.
Like the Jackie Chan remake of Death Wish?
No. Jackie Chan's having a movie coming out this year? At the end of this year?
I think it's the end of this year.
And it looks like pretty good.
I don't recall what it is, though.
Jackie Chan kicking ass as an old dude because Jackie Chan can.
Because Jackie Chan can.
Yeah, pretty much.
I love that.
He's got about 17 movies coming out in the next year and a half.
Okay, I mean the one that's coming out here in America.
Well, okay,
He's 17.
he's got Kung Fu Yoga, 2017.
Oh, for
There
fuck's
is
Guys.
The Nut Job 2, which is already out.
Which is already out, and he's
Karate
in it
Kid
for like
2,
3 seconds.
Shanghai Dawn, Rush Hour 4,
5 Against a Bullet.
That one, I think.
The Foreigner.
Yes. Yes.
So,
is the Foreigner.
Foreigner.
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah, go for it.
Who can take a sunshine
that one
and
does.
sprinkle it with dew? The Jackie Chan can.
The Jackie Chan can.
It's more
That's
like
awesome.
who can take a ladder and shove it into you.
The
Jackie Chan can.
There you go.
Also an umbrella.
Yeah.
Or a coffee cup.
Several of his movies involve umbrellas as a fight prop, specifically.
If
The
you-
Foreigner, 2017. October 13th, 2017. The
Yeah.
Foreigner.
Most of his movies, he never actually uses a real weapon.
Yeah.
Improvised
I'm just
weapons
saying
all
that
around.
umbrella shows up a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Chairs do too, but obviously chairs. Those are everywhere.
No, chairs, ladders, and umbrellas, dude.
I
What was the
can't.
New York movie that where he's like fighting in a ladder factory?
I don't recall.
I can't.
Oh wait, no, that's the one with they got like the map or whatever that's on them or some nonsense.
Yeah.
I think that's called a laboratory.
No, it isn't. It's not Forbidden Kingdom, is it? No, Forbidden Kingdom's the one where he's like the drunken monk.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Vampire Effect.
And
That
isn't
movie's
Jet Li,
ridiculous and I
isn't it?
love it.
I don't
Mr.
remember.
Nice Guy, maybe? This was the 90s. Or Rumble in the Bronx.
There you go.
That might be it.
That sounds right. That totally sounds right.
He's like in a building under construction. There's refrigerators and ladders and
Just
scaffolding. And,
Beating the piss out of people with
Yeah.
ladders.
yeah.
So overall, Dire Monkey, have you seen this movie? Baby
Wait,
Driver.
Does
Negative.
anybody have a gun in that scene?
And Rumble in the Bronx?
Yeah, like in the scene with the ladders.
Don't think so.
Damn
I
it.
don't think so.
Missed opportunity. It could have been shoots and ladders.
The only time I've seen a gun in a Jackie Chan movie was in Rush Hours when he like either flips them off carpets or takes them apart and with one hand. and-
Yeah, everybody else has a gun, and then he does his Jackie Chan stuff, and
He
then they
jams
don't
it.
have guns.
Yep.
His Jackie Chan magic.
Yes.
Delightful. Anyhow, you have not seen this movie?
Negative.
You need to see this movie.
You should see it.
Like I have been like of all of the movies this year so far, that's probably the one I've tried to push on people the most.
It is, at the very least, it is one of the best movies that is going to come out this
You
year.
have my phone number, email, and Facebook Messenger.
That's true. The next one we're going to go see, I don't want to go see.
I don't want to
Which-
see it either, but
I don't want to.
Oh, it's it.
I'll go to the theater with you, but I don't want to see it.
Oh, you mean the one that's actually slated to be the good Stephen King movie?
I don't want. You can't make me,
With,
but I gotta go.
With Ben Skarsgård as Pennywise.
There's too many Skarsgårds, guys.
They all sound like villains. I love that last name.
Because Skarsgård sounds like a villain name.
Even
love
though
that.
it's not.
I know, but I love it.
Dude, apparently in their home country, the I can't remember what it is. The redheaded bearded dude from Game of Thrones that has a thing for Brienne. He's in a movie with what is the main dad's?
No,
The one that's in
Andrew?
Thor, the Skarsgård.
Oh, no, he's a Sarsgaard.
Yes,
He's not a Skarsgård.
That's different.
Skar.
I think he's a Sarsgaard.
I thought he was the also them.
Yeah, we're
I thought
going
he
to
was-
find out. Anyhow, moving on. Yes, you are correct. It is going to be it. I don't want to see it, but I'm going to see it. So for all you that are out there in listening
Maybe
land,
he is a Skarsgård. I don't know. It's hard to keep track.
Where are you going? He should be near the top.
well, this
'Cause
is
he's the
Thor
professor dude.
Ragnarok.
Oh, he's not
He's
in
not-
Thor
he's
He's
Ragnarok.
not in
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok. He would be in
Thor, just
yeah, the first
Thor
one. I think he's in. Well, he's also in Avengers in
and
the
Dark
beginning.
World.
Yeah.
There,
Is it Stellan Skarsgård? Damn it, he is a Skarsgård.
Ha!
Yeah.
Told you.
Who are the Sarsgaards? There's also Sarsgaards.
Ben, who's going to be Pennywise, who was in Atomic Blonde, is the German kid.
He's a Sarsgaard, not a Skarsgård?
he's
I believe so. I believe he's related to them, and I believe the tall blonde one from True Blood.
This is confusing.
Anyway. I don't want to necessarily go
It's
see
like
it.
trying
but
to
I'm
figure
gonna
out
see
who's
it.
a Thompson and who's a Thompson.
Well, see, you have the problem of you have the problem of being afraid of clowns.
Yeah.
I don't.
Colrophobia. Not to be confused with colrophilia, wherein you want to fuck clowns.
Alexander Skarsgård.
Alexander Skarsgård, and then Ben, right? Because Ben's the one that's Pennywise.
Bill.
Bill? Oh, I thought it was Ben.
Bill.
Oh, Bill. Okay.
Bill Skarsgård.
They finally released a trailer for it that has him speaking more than a line. And his voice is actually, like, fits perfectly.
I am pulling an Aaron Dicer on this thing. I haven't seen a single trailer for.
I think they're all
No,
related.
get that away from me right now. What? I'm not going to even explain it. The heck's wrong with you?
He was just looking at Skarsgård.
You fucking pussy.
Jiminy Christmas. I look over at the screen, and all of a sudden there's this eerie-looking, half-bald, redhead monster thing glaring at me.
It's called Pennywise.
Don't do it, Jareth. I will kill you.
And it's a spider from space.
It's not from space.
It's from the void between worlds.
Yes, it is.
Which is basically
space.
It's not space.
It's
just
space.
It's just interdimensional space.
And as a Terry Pratchett fan, I would like you and all of the other Stephen King fans to stop using pictures of Discworld for your dumb turtle.
Discworld from Durham Turtle.
Turtles all the way down, yo.
That's a John Green book.
I don't care.
That's a different author.
Still fun.
It was also a PC game in the early 90s.
Behold the turtle of enormous girth. On his back he holds the earth.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Well, yeah, but, like, Discworld is something completely different because there's no elephants.
I don't know anything about what it is you're referring to.
Also, the pandas come from a turtle island floating in the
I don't
sea.
know anything about what you're referring to.
World of Warcraft.
Yes.
Do not care.
Yeah, that happens.
That did happen.
That did happen.
Pandaria.
Yep.
Terry Pratchett's a hilarious sci-fi comedy writer.
Jareth, I can
the vein
feel
of
the room.
Douglas Adam.
I could feel the whole room shift down and around when your eyes rolled.
Yeah, because I didn't roll my eyes. I rolled the planet around them.
All right, so we're right here at the very end of the episode. Got about 5 minutes left, so I think now's a good time to conclude everything. Jareth,
What's up, bitch?
You want to tell everybody about the other show that we do for All Tower Media?
No.
No? Fine.
Okay.
Josie, you want to tell them about the other show that we do for All Tower Media?
Would that be Agents of Sir?
It is.
We are going to do an episode of Agents of Sir coming up here soon. Me and Jareth are probably going to talk about Preacher because we watched the entire first season, and holy fuck, I should have been watching that show much earlier.
Did you say agents or Asians?
Agents.
Agents?
Okay.
Agents. Sir.
Also, can we make one called Asians of Sir?
No.
None of us are Asian.
No.
So?
We're also going to
My
end up,
uncle's Japanese.
We're also going to
Learn
we're
to be
also
inclusive, Josie.
going to end up having Josh back on for us with that one.
Oh,
To
cool.
talk about Defenders and...
To talk about Defenders and all that good business. So that'll be a thing. We'll have him dial in, and then it'll be the three of us and him on the other end of the phone line of some variety. And we'll
Hey,
discuss
for
that.
once, I'm not the one on the phone.
Yeah. Now you no longer sound like Gladys.
I mean, I am kind of...
GLaDOS.
It is GLaDOS, not
I know.
Gladys.
I'm referring
Gladys
to her
is
as
some-
Gladys.
Oh, because that makes her sound like a lady who works at like a diner.
Yeah.
It makes me sound like a golden girl.
I
No,
think it's a cow from like some dairy company.
Maybe.
Gladys.
I don't know.
I mean, it's also like a lot of people from like the 1950s.
yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. No.
Outside of that, I recommend everybody get over there and check out our friends at Geek.0 and see all the things that they have. Sean posts up all sorts of tech-related news and gaming and things of that
Yep.
nature. Totally worth looking at over there. And then our good friend Ledge over at Plunder Gaming, once they get more streaming and things of that nature up and going, they're definitely going to be worth watching. He and Jesse are avid gamers, then they'll have a lot of good content
Make a
up.
noise. You got to make the Alyssa Edwards tongue click.
Do it. There you go. They're both attempting to outclick themselves now.
I can do the Ali
See-
G snap.
G-Snap.
You can do it?
Booyashaka.
Dire Monkey.
Yo.
Got things going on over here at Spellbook Studios?
We're making games.
Yeah, what kind of
Making
games you got?
updates to games.
Yeah.
We've got the TIB expansion coming out.
Heck yeah.
At some point next month, I think.
Yeah.
Something like
and then, you've also got Heroes of
Heroes of
Dire.
Dire is out in kind of a hibernation right now while we get Expanse out, but
Yeah.
we'll be back to Heroes of Dire probably first part of the year, 2018. Something like that, yep.
Anything else going
Yay.
on with you guys?
A lot of drone building and flying and
Yeah,
racing.
They've been 3D printing those things
Yeah.
and racing them.
Cool beans.
True story.
Other
That's
than
a
that,
thing.
I think that we're right here at the very end of it, and I appreciate everybody tuning in and checking it out. And I look forward to releasing the It episode because it will be me being in total terror.
I was about to say, you're not looking forward to putting it out.
I wish we could just live stream your reaction the whole time.
I kind of want
You
to
should
be able
call
to
it-
live stream you watching the movie.
Like, maybe if I just take, like, a tape recorder, they'll be okay with it, just that we can, like, all of the sounds you make.
I might have to get a night vision app for my phone and just film you. Like, I won't be watching the movie. I'll be like, yeah, I already saw the mini episode, and or the mini series, and that's why I hate this clown. Okay.
We're only here for him. We don't care. We're not going to focus on that.
Any chorophobia I would have had, the
See,
original
apparently-
Tim Curry version of this completely killed.
I can't go the opening night at Alamo Draft House apparently
Why not?
because they're having a clown night.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
It'll be a theater full of clowns to watch a clown.
Nope,
I doubt it. This town's not very big on dressing up.
that's true.
These
But
days.
at the same time,
I don't know. You weren't there the night that fucking Dick Sandwich opened.
Dick Sandwich.
Yeah, Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, Dick Sandwich.
I would go see a movie called
hey,
Dick
at least-
Sandwich if people dressed up.
At least you agree with me. Heathens was the only good thing that came out of that, because Heathens is a good song.
True.
Yeah.
It's a good song. Other than that, I think that's it, boys and girls. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Have a good night. Bye.
Make sure to check out our website, all tower. Fucking hell.
Bloody hell, mate.
Let me try that one again.